Hello everyone and welcome back to tutorial with Stopfailing. Um, like you said in looked in the last video, if you watched it, I didn't made it public. So if you got the link from me, then you know this was a kind of crappy picture that I was making. So I decided to make a new video with a bit more serious. And this time I'm going to actually finish a whole drawing, and I will go and give some tips about what I'm doing when I'm drawing in, for example, a sketchbook and stuff like that. This is the very drawing we're going to color today. This is me in cartoon form with one of my elder people. I work in home care, if you couldn't tell by this nice drawing. Um, so yeah, lots of my drawings is based on shadowing because that's one of the things I really love most with drawing. For example, I have two other drawings I made here from my sketchbook. This is supposed to be Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games. I'm working on it right now. As you can see, this is not a drawing that I will probably uh, do a simple design of in Photoshop because I've been working so much with the shadowing and details and such. I might color it though in Photoshop, but I will still use the sketch format. And with sketch format, I'm going to show you what I mean by that soon. And this is another one that I made. I just wanted to show you. This, for example, was actually made from a photo I was looking at. An important thing about drawing is that if you want to learn anatomy, which I think is the basic of drawing, I've got so many questions about how I draw and why I can be so good, and it's all about practice. I have been drawing since I was 3 years old, and I always use references when I draw. So yeah, there was a young girl on the photo. She did not look exactly like this, except the face. That is what I focused on how the shadows were laying and the form of the head, the angle. I mean, after a while, when you've been drawing anatomy for a while, then you start to learn how the head looks in 3D in your own head. Like I'm going to like whatever. Like you start to think to draw like this. Those kind of sketches. That is how you know how to do. That one is looking up, for example. There's a girl looking very stupid. Looking down. It's very, very easy to be able to start making serious pictures out of these sketches. I always make my start with my sketches like this, so you can do that too. Yes, just a little tip if you don't do it. So back to business. We start off with making a layer, new and layer. We're going for outline. The outline is the cleaner version of these lines. As you can see, it's very sketchy. You can see the paper and yeah, all those kind of mistakes I don't want to show. Um, you can, okay, one thing at a time. Put the outline underneath the layer 0 so that the layer 0 is always above it. And then go up here. Instead of normal, we go for multiply, which means that everything we make in outline can be seen on this, but it's not poking around in layer 0, so it will still be original all the time. Like I said, you can always start coloring now. Like if you want to do the skin, if you still want the sketch under it, you can go, look, there we go. But as you can see, all the lines are still there. And that is a way of making things. That is what I'm thinking about doing with this one. Not like that, but yeah. But with my cartoons, I don't like it to be that. I want clean tattoos. They're tattoos, what the fuck? Cartoons. So I want them to be more, yes, like I said, cleaner. I'm repeating myself. I'm very sorry about that, guys. I'm so not used to this. So we zoom in and we start following the lines. It's as simple as that. Okay, now it looks pretty silly. Whee! Whoop. And if anyone's wondering if I'm using the mouse, I am not. I have a Wacom tablet that I've been using for around 3 years or so. If you don't have one, I recommend you to get it because it's very nice and neat to use it when you draw. It's much easier. I was using the mouse before when I was in school, went to like art classes, and it never looked as good as with a Wacom tablet. It will never do. Da 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 da. Focused. The outline is always the base on your drawing. And if there is something you forgot to add when you were drawing the original thing, you can always fix it later in Photoshop. Like make it look a bit better and stuff like that. That is why I like this so much, that you can fix things. Do, do, do. Like this, I'm adding my name to this plate thing. Because if you already have decided that you're going to color it in Photoshop, it's not necessary to add all the details in the drawing, as long as you remember them when you start color. How do I do this now? Like this, for example, it's so dark and blurry, I don't even know what I was doing here. So I have to guess what is going on in that corner. Whoop-a-doo. Wheelchairs is not my thing. Damn it. What is that? Oh well, I don't know. I don't really care, it has to be there anyway. I'm too lazy to delete it anyway. You have to live with it. Like I said, even if I'm pretty serious with this one, for example, I'm still not that serious that I need to take away everything if I'm making some mistakes. Because it's still a cartoon and I decide what is going to be there and not. Nice shoes. Focusing, focusing. Okay, so now the cartoon version of me is finished and it's only the wheelchair and old lady left. Fluffy hair. Most of the old ladies I have don't have that kind of fluffy hair. I know some though. Some wrinkles. Important. Happy face. Happy lady. Don't like unhappy ladies. Go. Now we make it like this. No comments. hate those part of the wheelchair because when you need to get out of it, it's like you have to push them away. Usually they always land on your feet or something. It's painful. I don't like them at all. It's this drawing is so personal. Whatever. For those who wonder, I've been working in a home, not the home care, but taking care of old people for 4 years now. 3 or 4 years. That's what I do. It's my job. Except making Let's Play. Oh, that wheel! Look at that wheel! Oh my god, it's so not round. Fuck it. I don't care. It's a not round wheel on this wheelchair. It's still functional. Don't question me. That's how it works. Yes. Perfect. Not. Yes, like this. I could spend a lot of time fixing this shit, but I'm not going to do that because I'm way too lazy to do it. And I don't value this drawing that much. I think that was it though. Yeah, it is. So now I made the outlines and I'm going to delete the original because it would be silly if it looked like this. So go away, make a new layer, put the layer under the outline and make it the color you want as the background. I'm going to not use white, to be honest. I'm going to go for grey brownish because I can. Oh, I need another brush. There. Now look how clean it is, and it almost looks the same like the original. Just a bit cleaner. There we go. So we go back to the outline and we put it in multiply so that the layers underneath it will be nice. A new layer between the background and the outline. So that the color that we put on is coming over the background, not under it, and under the outlines. Did you get that? I hope you did. Otherwise you will see what I'm doing now. So we start with the skin. I always start with the skin for some reason. I don't know why. We go for brush 6. And we start coloring. And for some reason I know that there is easier way to do this. For example, that you mark around the area you want to color in a certain color and then click at the color and then it will be added in that selected area. I know people are using that method, but I still haven't figured out how to do that perfectly. And for me, I don't know, I just like doing it like this. I don't know why. It makes no sense, to be honest. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself? I don't know. So anyway, we all have our ideas on how to do things, I guess. Look at that happy face. So happy. Happy, happy. Do, 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 do. The interesting thing is that I usually use DxTory when I'm recording things, but I haven't really figured out how to record the screen with it. So it took me like a week to understand how to record this. And now I use Camtasia for it, and it's so buggy and irritating, and I don't really get what I'm doing. So if I'm making a speed paint, for example, then it's easier to edit it. But now, when it takes some time to actually color it, I would like to speed it up a bit. But I'm not really sure how to do that. The end product might be that I have speeding up some parts. I don't know that yet because I'm still recording, so I cannot really know what I'm doing in the future. I don't know that shit. But still. So you have to live with that this might be a long clip with me coloring things. And if you're wondering what I'm doing now, is that I always start with the corners so I can take a bigger brush later and just fill everything in quicker. But I don't want the corners to fail, so I always start with them just to make it easier for myself later. I'm very, very, very focused now. Look at that. Look at that hair. Oh my gosh. No! No! Why would you do that to me? So, fixed. Fixed and forgotten. No one saw that. Dum 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 dum. Da, da, da. There we go. And then we take a bigger brush. Like this. Gets a bit faster. And I never start. Never. Sometimes I do. But usually I never start fixing the layers. For example, if I'm going to shadow the face, I don't start with it directly after I made the basic on it. This is what I call the basic. The basic color that you have under all the shadowing. I don't know what to call it, but anyway. The grounding, I don't know, whatever. And because I usually go for the basic on every part of the character, because in that way it's much easier to see how the shadows is going to fall. And always try to remember where you have the light source. When I do my cartoons, I don't usually think too much about it, because for some reason I don't think that anyone else is caring. But when I'm doing my more serious art, like this one for example, I'm always focusing on what where the light source come from. Does it come from the back of her, or is it coming from in front? And in that way, when I start with that and try to sketch it up, then I know where the shadows will fall. I can show an example of that. Oh, now you're going to see everything here. Nope, could not find it here. Pictures. Here we go. Oops. Whatever. As you might see, this is... oh, fuck it. No, stop it. Ah. Go away. Place it. Delete you. And vanish. Where? Okay, we take a new one then. Going for a white background. And we're going to add it here. There we go. Thank you. Here you can see how I made with the light source. The lighter parts are coming from where the light is. And as one can tell, I'm sorry, I'm just being ridiculous here. The light source are coming from here. Like the sun is over here somewhere. Well, not that close, but yeah. So, okay, let's see. Somewhere here, I think it will be. And lights up like this. So it's a bit from behind her, but at the same time it can still be seen here. And like here you can see that she's holding her arm a bit in front of her. That's how the light is reflecting on it. And yeah. So I think the lights are very interesting. Like I said, this is a more serious drawing that I have been starting on, but I still haven't finished it because I'm way too lazy. So, or rather I have other things to do. So we continue with this, with the old lady. So I'm not going to be focusing too much on the light source today. Because I pretty much know where the shadows are supposed to be anyway. Lies. Ah well. Do 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 do. I would still wonder how to make a nice speed paint of real drawing, because this is pretty much, I'm still learning on how to use Photoshop. And if you wonder, I'm using Photoshop CS 6, like details. But yeah, I went to school before, art school, and it was mostly traditional art. Actually, it was only traditional art on how to draw, make nice drawings of realistic um, objects and models, life drawing and such. And we started off with pencils and then went on to coal. And after that, you have mastered coal, you go to oil to start making oil paintings. I never got that far though because I didn't have enough money to continue going that school. But I'm pretty okay with coal. Now we have finished the basic skin and we're going for the hair. So we make a new layer and I'm going to put it underneath the skin layer so that the skin is above the hair. That makes you don't have to be so what do you call it? So perfect with it like this. The skin will not be touched. And I like that. This is not my hair color. I actually dark brown. Except when I color it red. But yeah, to go back to the subject. So I would like to do more speed paints when I'm actually drawing for real and make more serious art, but I still haven't figured out how to put my camera so you can see it. It's a mystery. I'm going to solve it, I promise. What the fuck am I doing? I'm not focused here. The small parts first, like I said before. Like this. So yeah. If you have any tips or ideas, you can always tell me because I like to know new things. Usually when I try to learn things, I always go for tutorials myself. Like on DeviantArt or just on YouTube. I'm searching for what I want to learn and then I learn it. I practice it in Photoshop over and over and over till I master it. That is why I still don't understand why I haven't went to learn how to color it more faster. But I guess we all have the things we like most. I don't know. Or I'm just stupid. That is. I think of that. So yes. Happy face. Mostly when people ask me if I can, for example, make them a nice drawing or painting and such, um, I I always stop to think a bit because usually it always takes much more time than this. First, you need to make a nice drawing out of what you're going to do. Usually, it's always someone have a reference to use, but not. I cannot always draw from references for some reason. Depends on what reference it is. Maybe like a game character. I don't know why, but just game characters. I have so hard time drawing them. I don't get it. It's I don't understand. Why, lady? Why is it so hard? I don't get it. Mostly, I get people asking me to make them in a cartoon style, and I have no problem with that. I think it's just funny. And if I am in a creative mode, I can make hundreds of them at the same time. Depends on how you want. Usually, you just have to give me a photo of yourself, and then I will use it as a reference, so I can make a cartoon version of you. That is how things work. Like myself, for example. Sure, I don't. I do have thick, wavy hair, but it's not that thick, and it's not that, and my skin is not that perfect. But you get it. It's like it's just a way of viewing myself in a funny way. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know. It's like if anyone thinks I really look like that, then I feel sorry for that person because it's something wrong with them. Though I take it as a compliment, of course. Mm. The funny thing is that when I was in the school before the art school, like I don't know if it's like a high school gymnasium it is called in Sweden. You go there for 3 years between age 16 and 19. Always my friends said that I was drawing so cartoonish, like in manga style. I guess they're right. That's a style I adapted for some reason. I don't even know why. Because I'm more into traditional art. Can't speak. Though, yeah, I like this too. Now we're going for the clothes. The interesting thing is why I don't usually name them is because I can see what I have drawn in them. Like I don't know if you can see it, but it's like the color of the hairs, and then I know that the skin layer is just above it. And so yeah, it's not that hard. Let's see, what kind of color do I want to have on my hoodie? Can go for blue, maybe. Maybe no, we go for purple. I want purple today. Some of you might have seen that I always change the color of the hoodies I have. It's because I can. I wish I had those kind of hoodies. I have like one and it's red. And it's not beautiful at all. It's ugly. I really want one of those with one of the creeper from Minecraft. It's like in the chest like this and it's like I love it. Yes, that's a creeper. It's beautiful. I like this lavender color. It's nice. It's calming. It's calming. She's like sneaking on my name tag to be like, who the fuck is this person? Do I know her? Have I met her before? And I'm like, blah 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 blah. Have you eaten yet? Wah. Yeah. Sometimes I really don't like my job, but at the same time, after you get used to it, it's like, yeah, it has its good parts too. Taking care of all people, they can learn you a lot of life. Usually, people who haven't been working with people think that they are always talking about their youth and like tell you stories and shit. Usually, that is not what happening. Mostly, they're so old that they have dementia or that they don't really care. They are most focused on what you're doing there and what you're going to do. Like if you're going to change in their bed, if you're going to make food and what kind of food and how you're making it, they're more like interesting in what you're doing there in your life than their own. They have plenty of time thinking of that when they're all alone. So most of the old people are pretty much alone. So remember that if you have an old grandpa or grandma at home, try to call them a bit more often. I know they will appreciate it. I'm trying to call my grandpa as often as I can, and I even go over there to play some chess. And that is not only because I work in home care, it's mostly because you get another view on life. It's like, I know he won't be there forever. And even, by the way, I'm doing another layer for the pants. And, you know, time actually flies faster than you think. I mean, 1 week for me is nothing because I work or I do let's plays, I draw. So the days go on pretty fast. But for my grandpa who is sitting in his kitchen all days, the days are very, very, very slow. And he doesn't want to disturb either me or my mom or my brother for that matter. So he is always silent. That means he's sitting there alone, and that is not a nice thought. And after seeing all those lonely ladies, I always remember that. Not always, but I try to. So remember that, people. Call your grandpas now. Do it. Go and play some chess. If they like it, I don't know. A new layer for the old lady. And she is going to get a reddish. I don't even know what she's wearing, to be honest. If I guess this. Lady, what